Hey, Grace Bridge and Master Cares friends, welcome back. Join us for an insightful conversation with Kelly Needham, the author of the thought-provoking book, PurposeFooled.
This is episode 2, so make sure you go back and check out episode 1 first. In this episode, Kelly dives deeper into the themes of her latest work, unpacking the ways modern culture shapes our pursuit of purpose and fulfillment.
With her unique perspective and relatable anecdotes, she challenges preconceived notions about success and meaning, offering listeners a fresh lens through which to rediscover their true calling.
Whether you're searching for clarity or simply curious about Kelly's journey, this interview promises to inspire and engage.
Hi everyone, we're here at the beautiful Selah event venue with a few ladies to share with you about the purpose driving Grace Bridge and the Master Cares. The Master Cares exist to provide the hope that God promises to the poor through the aid that goes beyond traditional means in Uganda. And Grace Bridge exists to provide the basic necessities of life to those in need in our local community while caring for the whole person. So the part that I have for that is I am a big to-do list maker.
Me too.
Like, I want to write it. I want to look at it. I want to check those boxes. I feel so empowered when I do that. And it's one of those things that I really have to step back from because I do believe that smiling at someone when I'm somewhere or saying just a moment of how's your day and listening and not just rehearsing that statement to someone is very powerful. Same as when we are at our distributions or if we're at the school or the clinic or different things, that we take the time to hear the story. Because when you hear the story is when you can be impactful to others or others can be impactful to you because it's just the same. Like some of my biggest blessings come from hearing others, but if I don't slow down from that to-do list, I just totally lose it. Like I don't engage. So that's one of the big things that I struggle with.
I think you and many of the rest of us very task driven. Our culture measures a successful life by what you can accomplish, which is a very modern Western way of thinking. But God's first command to all of us is love me. It's relational. It's a relational command. Love me. Spend time with me. Give me all of you. Love me with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. That takes time. And that's so hard because it's not measurable. You can't quantify it and like measure it up and go, look at all this great relational equity in my walk with God, you know? But that's really the foundation for anything else we're talking about, doing the things in front of us that God has for us. I don't think are actually possible if we don't invest in that time with God, that relationship with Him. The other thing that what you said makes me think of is this really scary part of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount at the end of Matthew 7, where these people, he says, in the end are going to come to me and say, look at all the good things we did for you. We did mighty works in your name. And he says, I didn't know you. So he immediately goes, knowing's more important than doing. And that's challenging. Whew. I have to ask myself that about my days sometime. How much time have I spent knowing? Or have I spent my whole day doing? And sadly, too many of my days are like, I think I did things all day. I don't think I paused. So I make myself a lot, walk outside, sit on the front porch. I'll just set a timer sometimes to force myself. Kelly will sit down 20 minutes till that timer goes off to just remember you are made to know, not do. And God,
that's a great thing. Like timers, we have all technology.
That's right.
So we might as well utilize our technology to help us to, again, engage.
That's right. It can be a great way for people to spend that time because we're afraid we'll lose track of time and we'll miss the next meeting. It's like, well, then just set the timer on your phone and set it far away so you don't look at it. And then just to sit outside or in a quiet space in your house and remember, God, you're alive right now. You're with me. And you want me to know you, and I can spend that time thinking about that or meditating on a verse in the Bible or even just sitting. Sometimes I think we don't have enough quiet space, but all of that in effort to go, I want to know him. I know the one I'm made for. That's actually going to be the engine we need for all the things he does set in front of us to do.
One of the things in your book talks about the measuring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all want to measure, like what we've accomplished, what we're doing, how we're doing. Even social media measures, you know, what our guidelines are for what it looks like to look good or be good or have a great family or to look like we're accomplishing so much, or how can we create great things or do great things and stuff. But again, it's about being still. That's one of the big things for me, because I'm not a good be still person. And then also like being present. And that's with him, with me, but also like we're talking about with others
too.
Because you also talked about your neighbor.
That's right.
How you can be so busy. And what's God say about love your neighbor?
That's right. I can be so busy thinking about this thing I'm called to do, this important task over here. And then there's a person right there that the Lord has plopped into my path that I can either be annoyed by, that they want to talk to me right now, or go, Lord, this is a great opportunity that you have set in front of me right now. Will I let myself be inconvenienced in this moment and trust that people are more important than projects, and that you put this wonderful soul right in front of me? A lot of my immediate neighbors don't know Jesus. And so every time they're out, I'm like, all right, Lord, this is from you for me to have this conversation. And Jesus modeled that, right? How often are his disciples like, come on, Jesus, we got somewhere to be.
Yes.
And someone is, you know, interacting with him in a way that they feel frustrated, like the plans are messed up. And he's like, this is the plan.
How do we know where our joy is?
Right. Well, I think that's an important question. And I think it's a good desire to want our lives to be full of that sense of joyful meaning. I think sometimes we can demonize that like it's a worldly desire, but I actually think it's a really good one. We were made to live lives full of meaning, and that produces deep and profound joy, to be feeling like I'm doing exactly what I was made to do right now. It's a good desire, but it does come back to the person of God, right? The fullness of joy, says in Psalm 16, is in his presence. And so when we can welcome in his presence to our every moment and every day and every action, it really will fill all those things with joy and meaning, and strip the meaning away from the particular thing, because that joy is flimsy. You know, it's like if I'm going to go speak at a women's conference and I'm like, this is what makes life meaningful. It's like I'm going to have a high and a low, right? I'm going to be stressed out before because maybe I'll do a bad job, and then it's going to be awesome maybe in the moment, or maybe I make mistakes and it's not going to feel awesome, and my joy is going like this the whole time. And then I get home and I go back to my house where I have dirty pans to scrub, and my joy was plummeting because I put my joy in a particular activity that seems meaningful to me. And we need sturdier joy than that. Yeah. We need joy that shows up behind the scenes and in front of people. We need it to be in both places. And that comes from the welcoming the presence of God into every one of those moments, and trusting that if this is the thing in front of me today, then Lord, you put it here for me to do with you, and to measure it a little bit differently. And you talked about measuring, but sometimes I have to use my imagination to think through, God, how do you measure things? We're going to be in the new kingdom of the new heavens and the new earth one day, all of us together. And it's going to be different. Like, who is God going to honor in those moments, right? Who is he going to look at and go, wow, you were faithful at your 9 to 5 when no one was looking for weeks on end, up and down, right? It's like, he may be going, you deserve the highest honor. You know, that is in my book, how I measure things, that faithfulness. Or maybe it's somebody sick. There are people who experience illness that can't do anything. They feel stuck in their bed or in their homes, or they're caregivers for a special needs kid. And they're going, I don't know what I can do in my life that's meaningful, but I'm going to receive this from the Lord. And I'm going to care for this kid, and I'm going to ask the Lord to sustain me. And maybe those are the things that God's going to go, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. I measure that faith, that faithfulness to that hard thing so much better. And we just, the social media we all look at, which is not evil, but it is curating for us a way of celebrating and seeing things as good
Yes.
in a specific way that I just think God doesn't measure things the same. And I have to use my imagination to rewire my brain sometimes to go, okay, Lord, let me just pause right now. Who are you peering out of heaven and looking down and going, that's awesome? And I'll just think about that for a little while. Who might that be? I want to be one of those people. I don't want to be the one that the humanity is applauding. I want to be the one who you are going, I love that. Not because it's just trying to take that competitive urge we all feel a little bit.
Well, and that's in our nature.
Right. It's in our nature. And Jesus doesn't despise it, right? The disciples came and asked him who's the greatest, and he didn't say wrong question.
Or, oh, well, it's not you.
Right. He didn't do that. He kind of was like, all right, you want the cheat sheet? I'll give you the cliff notes. I'll tell you who's great in my kingdom. And he gives them a clear and direct answer, which is so cool to me because he's like, he wants us to pursue greatness, but his greatness,
Right.
which of course is not what we want. Be servant and slave to all. You're like, oh, okay. Not what I thought the answer was going to be, but it is an answer, which has allowed me to come back to what you were saying, that the mundane moments, like, oh, in the season where I had 2 kids in diapers, I remember thinking, Jesus, you have me in greatness training. This is greatness training. You're giving me the opportunity to go, I want you to be truly great in my kingdom. And you have given me the training ground for this. And that was a total perspective shift for me that took something that was feeling frustrating because I was caring for my 2 kids while my husband was still on tour and doing photo shoots and like all sorts of really cool things. And he's sending me all these pictures. Oh, they just bought me this new outfit and wardrobe with a $150 pair of jeans. Like, that's nice. I'm covered in throw up and haven't showered in 2 days and it feels not great. And so then to take Jesus's words and go, but maybe I'm actually the one in a place of like, this is training for greatness, not him. And obviously,
Yes.
he's called to that same work in his own season, but it was just helpful for me to think differently about that and go, it's okay to want to be great. And even that measuring isn't totally bad, but will I take God's definition and God's measuring stick of what makes for a meaningful life and a great life and live by that, not by what my culture is presenting. It's a hard shift, but it brings in stable joy,
Stable joy.
which is what we all want.
Yes. I think we're all looking for that.
Yes.
And it's like you said, it's always like this, but we're really, if we're staying true, then it's very consistent.
Yeah.
And it finds much more peace for sure.
Yeah.
So as we go back, we're going to read James 2:14 through 7. And what is it, my brothers? If someone says he has faith but does not have works, can that faith save him? If a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, be warm and filled, without giving them the needs for the body, what good is that? So also faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead.
I love that verse and just the idea, and you said it, we want our ladies to first be known. It's a heart check of why am I doing what I do? And it's to be known by the Father, because that's where we truly find purpose. But as a result of that, I mean, again, we want our ladies and men, if you're watching, to be faithful to the task today. And so like kind of an application, what do we want our ladies to know, walking out of this podcast, just hearing these insightful words, how can we be faithful to today? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think when we do the hard work of getting our purpose attached to the person of God outside of tasks, I find for me, that's actually what gives me the most amount of energy to do the tasks in front of me.
Right.
If my tasks give me meaning, then I become selective about which ones I want to give my whole heart to. I'm going to really do well the ones that seem meaningful and purposeful, and the ones that kind of seem like they're in the way and they're annoying. And why do I have to do this? Why doesn't somebody else do this? Because it would be easier for me if you did that so I could do the important thing, right? Then we'd have less energy in ourselves to want to do that because it doesn't seem meaningful.
Right.
And that's normal. I don't even think we should feel bad about it, but it's a purpose problem of where's purpose located? Is it in the task or the person? When it's in the person, now that faith that we have in God that I think James has been speaking to begins to manifest in the works that we do, it begins to give us energy and drive and motivation to do everything in front of us with excellence, because it's from God and it's for God. So that has, it's interesting that we would think if my purpose is in the activities, I'll have more energy for the activities. And I find it to be the opposite. I feel drained and I feel exhausted and I don't want to do these things. But when my purpose is squarely centered in the person of God, my relationship with him, now every moment of my day, even like my drive here was, it's a long drive for me to get up here to do this interview with you guys, which is great. But it was like, all right, Lord, you've given me a long drive today. So one, I get to care for my neighbors around me in the car and do a good job of driving, not be distracted, right? But also, what do you have for me in conversation in this drive? I don't have to see this as an annoying thing. It's a gift that you put into my day, or any other set of tasks that fall into my lap. Ones I like, ones I don't like. Now I see those as an outworking of my faith and purpose in God, in moving into, I get to do these things with all of my heart and all of my energy. And I find it to really be sustaining. It sustains harder work for the kingdom of God when our purpose is not in the tasks themselves. It's in the one we do them for. And I think that's what we all want in the end. And I think that's what James wants when he's writing this book, is going, if you really understand what God did for you and who he is for you, it can't not show up in how you live. Right. That's a lot of what the book of James is about. And that one in particular, how, if you understand the kindness God has had toward you in your life, then how can you see a brother in need and go, good luck with that? It's like you naturally start to go, oh, I want to give you what I've been given. But it starts with, I have to have that deep relationship with God and be cultivating that, but that it naturally should show up in a lot of hard work for Jesus and for the people around us, in a way that isn't draining, because the tasks themselves don't give us life. God does. Yeah. It's really freeing and motivating, I find.
Thank you for blessing us, each of us, and our questions and our answers, and, taking the time for your own 10 years of journey to write this book. I mean, that can't be easy, but it's been very purposeful for us to go through this journey in a short period of time here with you and reading this book.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been a wonderful conversation.
Good.
About things that matter.
Yes, things that matter, things that are important in our lives.
I mean, the only other thing I would say to anybody who's listening is that the deep ache that we all have, live a life that matters, is from God. It's a good desire. And the world is telling you a lot of things about how to meet that need, and they will lead you astray. And so to just make sure, whatever we're doing, whether you're reading my book, which was trying to put a lot of scripture into it, or you're just reading God's word with that desire in mind, that we go to him and his way of meeting that need in ourselves, not the world's way. So it's a good desire you have if we have the desire to live meaningfully, and God wants to satisfy that. So
good. Well, that's a good note for us. Well, we'd like for you to share how to get more information and learn more about your book with our viewers.
Yeah. Well, you can get this book anywhere books are sold, Amazon for most of us. And then you can also follow along my husband and I's podcast called Clearly. We're goofy and go deep into the scriptures together. And then all of our social media accounts you can find on our website. So go to jimmyandkelly.com and you'll find podcast episodes there, articles, along with additional resources for the book PurposeFooled and other things.
Thanks, Kelly. We also want to have a special thank you to the Selah event venue for allowing us to record here today. It's a beautiful location in the Pilot Point area. Check them out on selaheventvenue.com. Last, find your purpose and flourish. We have 5 initiative opportunities local through our Grace Bridge and 5 initiative opportunities global through the Master Cares. Text PURPOSE to 90178 to get involved and a chance to win a copy of Kelly's book, PurposeFooled. One more thing, ladies, for an additional chance to win a copy of Kelly's book, share the video.
Hey friends, we hope you enjoyed our time with Kelly for part 2 of our interview.
Make sure to go check out other content from Gracebridge and the Master Cares, available here soon.